Hello, everyone. Welcome to Young Broken Board. I'm with my co-host Void. My name is Dork, and welcome to Part 3 of Dating in Marvel Rivals. Today, we'll be going over the many duelist heroes to find out which is the worst and which is the best. Now, Void, the first hero we have here is Black Panther.
First off, he's royalty. He is king. You know, King Black Panther. So
In Marvel Rivals,
that's giving him a bunch of buffs.
he also rules over an intergalactic empire. So what are we thinking? I'm pretty sure I got my decision.
I feel like this is pretty quick, pretty simple. That's marry my family.
That's marry
It's
into
gotta
my family immediately. All right, second hero, we got the former Russian spy herself, Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow. She is a Russian spy. She could rough someone up for you real good if you didn't like them.
That is true, but also, like as you gotta think of it once again as a parent here. Your child is dating a former Russian spy. She's killed people.
Your ledger is dripping. It's gushing red.
There's blood on her hands. Would you really want that?
That's a very good point. I'd be very concerned if you brought home a former. Is she technically a sleeper agent?
I don't think so. I don't know. I know, like Bucky technically, but I don't know about, Black Widow. She's supposed to be reformed, but I don't know.
I'm gonna put it. I'm
I
gonna
feel
put
like
it.
can grow on me.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. I'm gonna put it. It can grow on me. It'll be very weird at first, but I think it can grow on me.
Yeah, exactly. Once I see that, okay, she's no longer, Miss Russian KGB.
All right, next one. We have her partner in crime, Clint Barton, aka Mr. Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. I mean, going off the MCU, he is a family man.
He
so
is indeed a family man. He does have a family, and they got dusted in Endgame.
Yeah. I mean, that was a cool Hawkeye, though. He became Ronin.
That was Ronin.
actually cool. Then he went back to being lame and wearing purple. There's that.
Yeah, and deaf.
I would say I'd probably put him in the, I feel like Great Happy for you as a good category, I don't think he's quite married to my family, but I mean, I wouldn't object to him, I don't think I'd be even, it's an Avenger still, so it's Hawkeye granted, but...
True, it's Hawkeye, but I think it can grow on me. I'll be happy for my daughter if she brought home Mr. Barton.
Exactly.
All right, next one, we got the goddess of death herself, Odin's firstborn, Hela.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
She
is royalty, She is royalty. And, she seems like the type that would spoil her partner. Absolutely spoil. You just have to get past all the blood, the death, interdimensional conquest that comes along with it,
That's quite a lot to get
but
past,
I mean,
my
your daughter
friend.
is going to be very safe, very safe.
Daughter or son, we don't judge.
Or that's true. That's why, yeah, daughter or son. My brain's twisted.
Don't worry about it. So what are we feeling? Great happy for you or married to my family?
I feel like it can grow on me. It can grow on me.
Yeah,
you have to get past the conquest side of things. Like you got a pretty prime candidate there,
That's
You're gonna be
pretty good, She can keep your soul safe in the afterlife.
That is also true.
All right, next
Son's
up.
gonna be very happy man.
Very happy men. All right, next up, we got Chipatonho. We got Iron Fist. Now, this isn't Danny Rand. This is Lin Lee, I think his name is.
What a downgrade. If it's Danny Rand, I'd say marry into my family. But it's Lin Lee. I don't know this guy Lin Lee.
I literally don't know anything about Lin Lee. I don't know if he was in the comics or if he was just introduced in Marvel Rivals.
I just know he was a swords master, and I think his sword got infused into his chi or something like that. And that's
I think
how he
so.
became Iron Fist.
So
honestly,
he's a martial artist. He can keep your offspring safe.
That is true. I guess the Great Happy for you.
Yeah, I'll do Great Happy for you. I'll do that. Like, if it was Danny Rand, I know a lot more about Danny Rand than Lin Lee.
He's always mewing, though. That would kind of throw me off.
So true!
He's always mewing.
His fucking character icon. Oh, God. All right. Don't get sidetracked. We got Anthony Edward Stark, a.k.a. Mr. Iron Man himself.
Well, you see, as a Black Widow so eloquently puts, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. At least she agrees with him when Tony says that, you know.
Uh-huh.
So, on one hand, I want to say marry into my family, right? It's Tony. He's funny, you know, life of the party type of individual. I mean, he's a rich billionaire, playboy.
That's a hard one. Because if it's Playboy Tony, we're talking like Iron Man Tony. He's sleeping with multiple women.
Often at the same time, this guy.
Mhm.
So,
But if it's
You know, I
Iron
feel like-
Man, if it's Iron Man 2 Tony,
you
then
know,
he's
to be safer than sorry, I'm gonna put, you know, it can grow me. Simply because, like I said, if he turns out to be a great guy, then he's a great guy. But I feel like it's gonna take time, so I'm gonna initially think he's a playboy. you
yeah,
know?
because all the stuff you see in the news about him is just he's a playboy, he's a player, he's everywhere, he's doing everything at once.
Exactly.
All right. Next up, we got the soul sword woman herself, the Queen of Limbo, Magic.
My queen. You can edit that part out. You don't need to hear that.
All right, what are we feeling for Magic? She does
I mean,
bring up
she's the queen of limbo.
she brings that up quite a lot.
That is quite a lot. She brings that up. I mean, she doesn't seem to not like talking about it. So,
Mhm.
personally, I don't know. I mean, I feel like she can protect you. She's queen of limbo. What more do you really need?
Yeah, but
I wouldn't say. I'd say great happy for you. I don't think she's in the marrying my family. I mean, she's the queen of a demon realm. Not exactly, you know, the best of realms to be queen of. I suppose.
Realistically
you know, not a
speaking, she's
Candyland or something.
realistically speaking, she's the queen of nothing. Limbo is nothing.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got Mark Spector himself, aka Moon Knight, aka schizophrenic man with 3 personalities.
I mean, I'm gonna be firstly wondering why she brought in like a homeless man or something, you know? Why did my daughter bring home a homeless man? This guy's sitting here babbling about, you know, the voices in his head. Who's this Khonshu guy?
Who's Khonshu, bro?
I'm gonna have to put this in like the does not approve. I'm
Yeah,
very
I don't know.
worried.
I am very concerned if you brought home this mentally ill man towards me.
yeah. Then who would she be dating? Mark or the other personalities? Like who? Which one?
I don't know. What if side tangent, but what if when he's in bed with her before he finishes, he goes, "The moon haunts you."
That might boost him up a couple tiers. Not gonna lie, you know.
All right, we got King of the Oceans himself, aka Susan's #1 simp, Namor.
You see, in this scenario, I feel like it is the problem that would occur is he's gonna be constantly thinking about Susan, even if he's with your daughter. He's
Uh-huh.
gonna be thinking about Susan.
Absolutely.
You can't get past that fact, you know. He just constantly is gonna be haranguing. Like, if anything, you're more of a rebound. Your daughter here is a rebound
After
because
he
you
got
can't get Susan.
rejected by Susan.
Exactly. So I'm gonna have to put this just in the does not approve category. Granted, on paper he's great, right? I mean, he rules a kingdom, you know, Atlantis, you know, he's super strong, all that kind of stuff. But on in practice here, he's gonna be simping over Susan still.
He also fumbles hella hard. Have you seen the dialogue between him and Emma Frost?
That is true. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Just
All right.
like me, for real, for real.
Damn, so true. All right, next up, we got Miss Yokai herself, Psylocke.
Gotta put this one in the great happy for you. I mean,
Psylocke seems
You
like
know,
a good
actually-
person.
actually pause. We're gonna rewind that actually.
Oh.
Now that I'm doing a little more thinking, I'm gonna put this in the it can grow in me. Here's why. Now initially you might think, oh well, she seems like a great person. I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with her on paper. But you gotta remember, this Psylocke from Marvel Rivals was like feudal Japan Psylocke. She gets transported to the modern era. So I feel like in real life, if you were talking to her, initially there's gonna be a very weird disconnect in terms of just everything, right? Culture, personality. It's gonna be very different. So it's not gonna be like as a parent, it's gonna be very weird interacting with her simply because, you know, you're from literally different time periods.
Very true, very true. She might even mistake you for a yokai.
That is true. She tends to call everything a yokai. Your dog's a yokai. Your cat's a yokai. Who knows?
A 4-legged fuzzy yokai.
Exactly. So I would have to put this in the it can grow. I feel like it'd be very weird growing pains initially, but after that it's peak. Someone's gonna end up very happy. But that first initial part might be a little weird.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got Mr. Judge, Jury, Executioner, Frank Castle himself.
Now, I'm gonna be real. Frank Castles doesn't seem exactly like the most mentally sane person.
No.
I'm gonna be honest. Doesn't he literally say in his dialogue for one of his lines that those who see gray or something like that are wrong, and the world is only black and white? He's literally saying that all the time. The world is black and white. You know,
I think
his sense
so.
of judgment might be a little bit skewed.
Yeah, I would have to put this in for me personally, because I want my daughter or son dating someone that
Be real, this man also low-key seems racist. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just throwing it out there. Just saying, if he were to pull you over, if Punisher's pulling you over, you might be cooked.
I might have to put this in does not approve, because I want my daughter dating someone who understands nuance.
Exactly, exactly. And also, I'm pretty sure in the Marvel Rivals version of him, he's bulked up on Trenbolone sandwich, because that man is unnaturally built.
Absolutely. He's built like Marcus Phoenix.
Exactly.
All right. Next up, we got the Chaos Witch herself, Scarlet Witch. This isn't Multiverse of Madness Scarlet Witch. She's not insane.
Oh, well, that's a good boost. That's definitely up in the points. You know, in terms of gameplay, I would be very disappointed if
Absolutely.
you know, very sad. You know, might be in the disowned child category. But I mean, lore-wise, I don't
From
see
what
anything
we've
wrong
seen in
for it, you know?
dialogue, Wanda seems pretty nice.
Sometimes she seems like a nice Wanda. I mean, she does have dialogue line though, saying, "When I said no more mutants, I meant you, Logan." Meaning in her timeline, she's gone through the whole no more mutant story. So I don't know. I've never read that story, so I don't know the full context of why she did that. But she might be racist toward mutants. That's all. So I mean, you can get past that, then you're good to go. But I don't know. This might be a little coin toss here. I'd say maybe it can grow on me, just because I don't know.
Yeah.
It might throw me off.
I'll put it in. Yeah, I'll put it in. It can grow on me. All right. Next up, we got old reliable Mr. Wallcrawler himself, Spider-Menace, as J. Jonah Jameson calls him, Spider-Man, aka Peter Parker.
You see, if I'm like a Fox News boomer who just sits and watches, the TV all day, I probably hate Spider-Man. I'm gonna think he's a horrible, horrible person. But if this is just Peter Parker that I'm concerned with, right? I don't know his real identity. It's just Peter Parker. I feel like this is, marrying my family.
Mm-hmm.
Peter is a great individual, right? He's constantly saving the city.
He's very reliable.
Exactly.
I'll put him in marrying my family. Peter seems like a good guy. From the comics we've seen, that doesn't involve Paul. He seems very happy. MJ seems very happy with him, or Gwen Stacy, depending on which timeline you go with.
True. We don't talk about the Spider-Man comics, okay? As far as I'm concerned, a large majority of those just aren't even canon, all right?
Could be worse. Could be DC Comics.
What the fuck?
All right.
That's true.
All right. Next up, we got Squirrel Girl. I don't have a funny nickname for her. It's just Squirrel Girl. I mean, she seems nice.
She does. She also can break the fourth wall canonically. So if, say you have, your son brings her home or whatever, right? Is she going to be doing that at the family gathering, right? Thanksgiving dinner. She's going to, turn and look at the camera, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That might be, that might throw you off. That might look a little
Who are you talking to?
Exactly. So I feel like for that reason, it'd be one of the it can grow in me. Because she's not nearly as insane as Moon Knight. Moon Knight is just, he's too far gone. That man jumped off the deep end.
He is not stable at all.
That man is 10 toes into insanity, he's gone.
Yeah.
Squirrel Girl, though, she just does it as a kind of clever, if anything, I'd probably think she's a little, tism, she's a little quirky.
She defeated
a little
Thanos.
Special. That is true,
All right, I'll put it in does not grow on me. All right.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the protector of the universe himself, leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy, Mr. Star-Lord, Peter Quill.
That's my goat. See, this is a very interesting one to break down because on paper, he does just seem like a great guy. I'd want to put him instantly in the, great, happy for you category. But if we're kind of, you know what we've been doing for the series, we kind of been combining all the versions of these characters.
Mhm.
If we're talking about the MCU, if this version of him is like the MCU version, until Gamora, he was a playboy. People don't really remember that about him. But
Yeah,
like,
he
in
was.
Guardians 1, yeah, he wakes up and he can't even remember the name of the girl who's in his ship. You know?
He's
And
wearing
it's
his
referenced
shirt.
Exactly. Then it's referenced that like they some sort of tentacle creature in Guardians 1, and the third one he's hitting on, you know, or he uses his Riz, you know, to hit on the desk attendant or whatever. and then Nebula too. I mean, I don't know, you know.
I don't know.
This one would probably could grow on me. I feel like
Yeah.
I'd probably be very worried at first, thinking, "Oh boy, don't fall victim to Star-Lord, honey. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's Peter, man."
It
But
can,
I
it
feel
can
like
grow
it would
on me. Yeah, it can grow on me. All right.
Once I see he's loyal, you know.
Yeah. Because he can be loyal, as we saw with Gamora.
True.
All right. Next up, we got the goddess of storms herself, Aurora, aka Storm.
I mean,
She
this
is a
one, I feel
goddess.
like that is true. I mean, she's quite literally like worshipped as a goddess in certain parts of the world. That would be very interesting. I mean, I kind of want to put her in the, you know, marrying in my family. I mean, she seems nice enough.
Mm-hmm. Pretty sure she also teaches at the X Mansion. She can be good with kids.
That's what I'm saying. She seems very nice. And plus, you got to think about the benefits here, okay? Imagine this, right? Oh man, Christmas. There's no snow on the ground. I really wish there was snow. Storm comes in, bam, boom, you're good to go.
White Christmas.
Now there's snow. You got a white Christmas, exactly. Or, oh no, man, it's rainy today. I really wish I could go ride my bike. I really wish I could go frolic on the grass. Bam, boom. Storm fixes the weather for you. So, I mean, you have a portable air conditioner and weather changer. That alone, that's enough to say marrying the family.
Absolutely, I agree with that. All right, next up, we got sleeper agent man, Winter Soldier, aka Bucky Barnes.
Oh, Bucky. Oh, Bucky. I really, this literally breaks my heart to say this, but I would literally have to put in the strong does not approve. A very strong does not approve. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? You know?
Mm-hmm. All it takes is someone saying the wrong words, and Bucky goes ape shit.
Exactly. Like, that is. This man is a loose cannon. He is not there. He's not sane, you know? And then you have to also deal with the fact that, once again, kind of similar to, you know, Natasha, he murdered a bunch of people.
Yeah, including Tony Stark's parents.
Exactly. So, I mean, like I said, I'd have to put this in the does not approve, you know? I just
Yeah.
have to. The wrong phrase could set him off.
He's going in the front end of does not approve. There we go. Okay, so the next hero we got is a man who's old as dirt, Wolverine, aka Logan.
Wolverine, the old head. That's Unk right there. Civil War vet and everything.
Not even
Question is,
just
which
that.
side did he fight on?
I think he came from a very wealthy family in origins.
It is true. I don't know.
So what are we? Logan he doesn't strike me as a family man.
He really doesn't. And I mean, doesn't he also smell? I feel like everyone complains about his smell. He smells like a mutt, you know?
He's basically a wild animal sometimes.
He seems a little feral. I'm not gonna. I'm putting this as does not approve. He seems a little too wild and just untamed, uncouth, if you will.
Yeah. So far, no disowned child, which is I'm surprised. Okay.
So far the DPS category, there's no one I feel like the closest you might have would be Hela. But you know, I'm gonna have to defend Hela. I'm in Hela's corner today, all right? I'm boxing for her, but other than that, I don't know who you'd put in there, to be honest. We'll get there, I guess.
We'll get there, I guess. All right. So, next up, we got Reed, whatever size you need, or Richard.
Well, my daughter would be very happy.
My daughter would be very happy. I mean, he's a genius. You know, he's very flexible, literally.
Yeah, but there's like so many dialogue lines of Reed not taking the hit and Susan being upset for it. This man, I mean, is a little too committed to the work, you know? I mean, we talked about in one of the other videos about Strange possibly being, you know, too much of a workaholic. Reed is a workaholic.
Absolutely. Reed is 100% a hardcore workaholic. So
You know, for as smart as he may be, and his flexy phalanges, if you will, you know, Shirley said she'd be very happy. But I'm gonna have to put this in the does not approve. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
Also, this man is just weird. He's just weird. Have you seen the way he mourns?
Why the long
Just-
face, buddy?
This man just can't do anything normal. In the comics, he's always doing weird things. Like, I get it, bro. You can stretch, but like, you don't gotta like do it like that, you know?
For
Be
real.
cool.
All right, so we got Mr. Fantastic and does not approve, and now we got the last DPS here, Fantastic Human Torch, Johnny Storm.
This would just be, my daughter would end up as another woman of the week.
Absolutely.
That is a hard does not
There's a
approve.
comic
This is a
where he
hard does
literally
not approve.
slept with Doctor Doom's fiance.
Man is willing to risk intergalactic, interdimensional peace for a woman that he just met. Kind of insane.
I think that he might be the first Disown's child. I'll be real.
Actually, I'm gonna be honest. I agree. I'm putting him in. Yeah, disown that. I'm disowning my child. I mean, if you fall for this man's riz, I hate to say riz. I mean, even in the game, everyone rejects him for the most, except Luna. Luna, come on now. What
Come
are we
on,
doing?
Luna.
What are we doing, Luna?
Come on.
Yeah, that's a disowned child. I'm not gonna lie. He is quite literally hot-headed.
Absolutely. Okay, so the tier list we're using did get updated, and they added another strategist and another tank that weren't here when we did the tank and the strategist.
Oh,
So
might as well add them.
Yep, I want to do them here. So we got Emma Frost.
Emma Frost. You see, I don't know. So for Emma Frost, if you look at all the dialogue that's in the game so far, she is a massive flirt. She's constantly talking to Namor. She's talking to
Cap.
she's pretty much everyone. Yeah, literally Tony Stark. She
Mhm.
shoots down Johnny, of course. I said El Riz, El Johnny.
Mhm.
But she seems like very much a flirt. I don't know terribly too much about her in the comics, to be honest. She also, how do I put this? Dresses provocatively, to say the least. So, yeah, I feel like my son would end up with his feelings very hurt. She's gonna be flirting with everyone. I don't necessarily know if she would
Going off
go
of the
through
movies,
with it all the way, but
yeah, going off of the movies as well, she seems to side with Magneto and the Brotherhood. So I get the sense that she's not the biggest fan of humans.
that is true. I'm gonna probably put. The question is, it can grow in me or does not approve. I'm gonna be
I'd have
honest,
to go
I'm
does
putting
not
this in
approve.
I was gonna agree. I would say does not approve. I think she's a little too much of a flirt. She's a little too much of a harlot, a scoundrel.
Mm-hmm. All
Too much
right,
of a harpy.
all right. Now, the last one we got here is it's pretty cut and dry where it's gonna be. It's Tony Stark's peacekeeping initiative, Ultron.
Actually, in this continuity, it's Hank Pym, and in the original continuity, it's Hank Pym. But that being said, absolutely no. This gotta
This
be
is a
an absolutely
hardcore
disowned child.
Disown's child.
What do you mean? You don't want your, daughter dating a genocidal robot that wants to exterminate the human race?
What do you
I don't see
mean?
the problem. What could go wrong? What could really go wrong?
All right, so that is the tier list. This is our tier list of what we think would be the best for our son or daughter to date. I want to thank everyone so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and turn on that notification bell so you can get notified when we post new videos. And as always, we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!
Bye.